Welcome back. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while, but you know, shit. I heard they made new death battles, so let's get into it. This one's gonna be Omi-man versus Bardock. Let's be honest. I feel like Bardock should win. More likely gonna win, cause Viltrumites is like the washed down versions of Saiyans. But this is death battle. Can't be too sure about these things, but shit.
All season long on a variety of networks.
You know what I'm saying?
And NFL Sunday Ticket with YouTube TV.
Here we go.
Omi-man versus Bardock,
the ostracized Viltrumite and the doomed Saiyan.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Omi-man,
Earth's once greatest hero. Alongside the Guardians of the Globe, he protected the world from all...
I'm sorry also if you hear like other shit going on. My cats is acting crazy fighting each other and shit, but can't really do shit about that. But
manner of threats. And then, in a single day, it all went horribly wrong.
Why Omi-man? How Omi-man? Who Omi-man?
Who indeed? Champion of Earth, best-selling author J.K. Simmons, yet it was all a charade, with his murderous rampage only brought to a halt thanks to his own son.
It all starts with his home planet, Viltrum, which I hear is a totally lovely utopia.
Through brutal mortal combat.
With a K! Or, wait, no, that came later.
Viltrumites are among the most powerful beings in the...
Real name, Nolan Grayson. Age 2,000 plus years. Now, can Saiyans get up to that age? I don't know. 6'2", okay, kind of tall. Got some weight on him. Likes Mark. Debbie, yep, his pet, you know.
Universe, even more so after they purged the weaker members of their species. As a vanguard of the Viltrumite Empire, Omi-man infiltrated Earth as Nolan Grayson, expected to prepare the planet for Imperial assimilation.
Which should have been easy, since he's got your classic strongman superpowers and he's basically invulnerable, easily knocking around asteroids the size of Texas.
He can fly at unbelievable speeds, soaring from Earth to the planet Thraxa in under 1 week. Thraxa is, quote, a couple galaxies away, give or take, so a minimum of 2 galaxies. Beyond the Milky Way's neighbor Andromeda is the lesser-known Triangulum galaxy, which is over 2.7 million light-years away. Reaching it in under 1 week means Omi-man must have flown over 142 million times faster than light.
Oh, and Viltrumites can't breathe in space, so he held his breath the whole way. And it's not like he was in a rush. He was on a soul-searching trip, contemplating the significance of smashing his own son's face in. Think, Nolan, think.
Yeah, this is why I'm never having kids.
You're missing out. But according to another Viltrumite, Thetis, a bunch of other Viltrumites who actually were in a hurry flew to Viltrum across the Virgo supercluster in less than 24 hours.
That's over 20 billion times faster than light.
You don't really need to rush anyway. The older a Viltrumite gets, the slower they age.
According to the Invincible Handbook, Nolan is over 2,000 years old. And regardless of age, Viltrumites don't suffer muscle fatigue like humans do, so they rarely ever tire out.
Seriously? He's got parenting easy mode on, and he couldn't even handle that. I would have killed for that back when my daughter was born.
Well, you would have to be a Viltrumite first. A Viltrumite's body contains smart atoms, which they subconsciously manipulate. This cellular structure can effectively recall certain states of being regardless of their present environment, reacting to changes at an atomic level to perform the impossible.
Yeah, like surviving your intestines getting ripped out, or even more scary, ripping out your whole beard all at once. Ugh. Only a Viltrumite could pull off something that disturbing.
Nolan is incredibly tough, but if he faces superior forces, his smart atoms can adjust to make him even stronger by comparison. This is why Viltrumites are considered invincible.
Most weapons in the universe can't even scratch a Viltrumite like him.
Even a ship's cannon like this one can't take down a Viltrumite, and it obliterated a massive solar disk nearly half the size of a star.
Speaking of
Hearing all this, it kind of makes Bardock. It seems like Bardock might lose this. I don't know. Sure, he's strong, but he died to Frieza. Now I don't know. We gotta see how the death battle will measure out Bardock's feats.
planets, he's strong enough
You know
to
what I
shatter
mean.
one by flying straight through it. A planet so big it has a whole ring around it.
The Roche limit factor dictates the size a celestial body must be in order to disperse orbiting material as a ring. In short, an Earth-sized planet can't support such a ring, meaning this one must be much larger.
And don't get me started on how the ring is actually made up of dead bodies because, spoilers?
What the fuck?
Just go read the comic.
If Roche isn't doing it for you, this planet also supports 5 moons in its orbit, and even the smallest is a perfect sphere, meaning its own gravity shaped it. At minimum, a moon like that must have a diameter of 600 kilometers, or 370 miles. Comparing this to the planet's diameter, we can tell this world is nearly 14 times larger than Earth.
Or it was before, kablam.
Now, Omi-man does have his weaknesses. Monsters like Ragnar's can pierce Viltrumite flesh, and he's extremely sensitive to a specific high-pitched frequency, which can destabilize his body's equilibrium.
But his real weakness turned out to be, you guessed it,
His son.
fatherhood. Thanks to his son, Mark, Nolan began to re-examine his perspective and his place in the universe. He settled down in a new place, got himself a new job, and even had a new kid with his new wife, who's a bug. The bug lady, he banged a bug.
But them lips
Why,
though.
Omni-Man?
Okay, damn, I paused at the wrong time. But I mean, shit, she got lips. Look at them lips. Tasty.
How, Omni-Man?
Hey, everyone deals with parenting stress in their own way. When Nolan was lecturing to Mark about how insignificant people are, Mark wasn't the only one he was trying to convince, if you catch my drift.
Nolan Grayson's real mission isn't planetary conquest or saving the innocent. It's to discover if a violent man who can break the world can also be a good father.
Godspeed, Omni-Man.
In the far reaches of the
Okay, they're going
cosmos lay a
straight to-
world with a people like no other, born and raised to do just one thing.
The
Destroy.
Saiyans,
Well,
a
same
proud
shit.
warrior people from the planet Vegeta, ruled by, King
King
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Well, narcissist punch.
Exactly. Their pride blinded them to the truth of their impending doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning glory days.
Bardock! He's cool, he's crude, he's got a bad attitude, and if he goes apeshit, you're totally screwed. And guess what? He's father of Goku.
Oh wow, I never would have guessed.
Right? What
No
a
shit.
curveball.
So what does that make Turles?
Who?
Ahem. Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They didn't just conquer planets, they wiped out every living.
Damn, he only 30 plus years before Frieza, killed him. Rocks a sick bandana.
Thing, leaving Frieza uninhabited rocks to sell away. Bardock was an asshole. Well, until he wasn't.
Bardock's story has evolved over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from.
Including one where he's a brilliant scientist.
Scientist.
But only one is considered officially canon. Bardock's demeanor began to shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior Guinea, and had 2 sons, Raditz and Kakarot.
No, Bardock didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior. You know that iconic red headband of his? It's stained with the blood of his fallen friends. Hardcore.
Bardock could fly, move faster than light, and was naturally adept in using his ki as an explosive weapon.
AKA shooting lasers from his hands. True to his brutal screw you nature, Bardock's moves are all about overwhelming power. His final spirit.
Okay, they gave him Super Saiyan. He might be able to beat him. Even though, let's be honest, Super Saiyan is not everything compared to these death battles.
cannon is like a key-powered bazooka. His rebellion hammer punch ignites enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear basically turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move on to the next guy. All in a day's work for a Saiyan.
Marriage didn't change that. While Bardock cared for Gine, in fact being one of few Saiyans of his time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
But they would still possess the Saiyans' power, a transformation that was the key to their planetary devastation.
Big Monkey!
Under the light of a full moon, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great ape form increases Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into an unstoppable kaiju. Quick, someone call Yajirobe!
While some Saiyans can maintain control over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of higher birth. Prince Vegeta's control is so precise he can speak while changed, but Bardock cannot.
Hell, it's questionable if he even remembers everything that happens when he goes full tilt gorilla. The Saiyan strategy is pretty much just monkey see, monkey smash.
Despite being low-class, Bardock's power level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000.
Yeah, we know power levels are kinda janky. Nobody can agree on what the number really means.
Outside of his fight with gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon, but we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his potential.
Like when his son fought Prince Vegeta. What's the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000.
9,000. Yeah, the
Oh,
change
what?
to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the cold hard truth, damn it.
According to this movie pamphlet, Goku's power level between his fight with Vegeta and his trip to Namek was 10,000. This lines up with that previous reading and puts him on par with Bardock. Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but this gives us a clear window.
Yeah, early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming asteroids and blast his ship away from a star, which is impressive considering the speed involved.
The planet Namek is outside Earth's quadrant of the universe, and it took his ship 6 days to make the journey. Traveling a quarter of the universe's diameter would put the ship over 9.5 trillion times the speed of light.
And Goku would have had to keep up with that kind of speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes sense given far weaker
Let's say so. I thought we was talking about Bardock. Why we talking about Goku? But we already know they're talking about the
characters
ship.
could reach the moon in a fraction of a second. Should be trivial enough for Bardock.
All this speed and power meant when Bardock and his team assaulted the planet Cereal, they went Cheerio!
Bardock ravaged the planet, annihilating its people, until he found 2 survivors, a mother and her child. Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity. But Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born.
Wouldn't that make him somewhat control of his ape form? If he can remember that shit? Because let's be honest, he ain't had no control of that ape form. Seeing that shit would mean nothing. He would just destroy them like Kratos did with his family in the original one.
Son. He chose to spare the 2, and even pushed himself far past his limits to protect them from his own Frieza Force allies, who taunted that Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyan's future.
This moment changed Bardock, making him more appreciative of his family and cautious of Frieza. When all the Saiyans were called back to planet Vegeta for mysterious reasons, he had a hunch something was up. So before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face with the tyrant, he sent his youngest kid away for protection. A choice that allowed his son to thrive. And hey, that's what good parents do.
A choice that would have a greater significance than Bardock could ever imagine.
And then Dildo Dickhead blew them all up and he died.
Haha,
Or
50
did
monkeys.
he? Bardock got killed so freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
Actually, he was pulled away by these 2 who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah, 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 non-canon, whatever. He survived. And when he realized what happened, he got so unbelievably pissed off, he went Super Saiyan. What?
Alright, this is very much an alternate universe what-if scenario, and it is jarring. But think about it. The Super Saiyan form is not achieved through training alone. It requires dedication, introspection, victory, failure, love, and loss. Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he feared the possibility of the Super Saiyan, a Saiyan with power that could rival his own. But perhaps Bardock's transformation was more than simply a what if. He had begun to take the very steps his son later would to achieve the form. Perhaps if Frieza had hesitated, even for a moment, his fear would have manifested before him, right then and there.
Damn! Pour one out for Bardock, who figured out how to be the truest Saiyan right at the end of it all. I know Kakarot would be proud.
Fuck that Broly all
Shout out
day.
to everyone who believed in us during our...
Well, let's get into it. Jesus. Okay. Come on, Bardock. Let's go, Bardock.
Great. Another gross bug planet.
This planet isn't anyone's to conquer.
Don't underestimate me!
Just like my son, sticking his nose in places he's not ready to.
My son would kick his ass!
I feel like the key blasts, you know, shouldn't that be like a certain sound thing that would probably fuck up his ears a little bit? I don't know. I just feel like it should. Or, you know, when they charge up, they be screaming hella loud, so that should fuck up his ears too. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't did nothing to him. Come on, some bullshit.
Whatever you are, you're an embarrassment.
Wait till you see the real power of a Saiyan.
That's badass.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
See, like that blast would probably fuck up his, you know, cause the hearing, whatever shit problem he got, that should fuck him up. Oh, got his tail. Oh.
Shit.
Damn, done beat him with it?
No. My sons. Lead me. I won't let you take me from my
Sound about right, yeah. Well, come on, yeah, fuck him up. Yes.
Your time is up!
Damn.
You said Saiyan. Remember it.
Fuck, took his whole arm off. Damn. I gotta see how. Maybe it's because he lived longer. Maybe that's why. More battle experience, I would say.
Okay,
But I gotta see why.
I've got to stop picking fights with guys in capes.
Pitting Saiyan against Viltrumite is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
Starting with speed. Bardock is much faster, given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5 trillion times light speed, much higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan and it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage, but strength and durability are another story.
Though it doesn't seem like it at first, Bardock scales to King Veggie, who wrecked 3 planets at once, and Omni-Man only smashed 1. But given how big that one planet was, the numbers are actually pretty similar. Until we factor in the Super Saiyan boost, right?
Well, there's a catch. A major plot point in Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
So, when their ship's cannon obliterated this gigantic solar disk, it highlighted just how tough the Viltrumites really are.
This disk completely blocked the sunlight and heat between a planet and its star. And this is no ordinary planet. Its size and density are so high that its inhabitants are as strong as Viltrumites just due to living in its natural gravity. To fully block the light to such a planet and remain in consistent orbit, the disk would need to be positioned at its L1 point, the spot that creates an uninterrupted view between sun and satellite, and the disk itself must be about half the diameter of the star in question. This means the scaling of the disk puts it at 3 septillion tons.
That's 24 zeros!
Which makes Omni-Man over 11,000 times stronger than base Bardock.
Not even the Great Ape or Super Saiyan forms could make up that difference. So strength goes to Nolan.
Still, numbers aren't everything. As far as versatility in combat goes, neither had one distinct advantage that could win outright.
Omni-Man survives in space for much longer, but Bardock barely squeaks out the edge here thanks to his range versatility with key attacks and, of course, Super Saiyan.
Okay, let's address the Super Saiyan Bardock thing. It's perfectly fair to question whether or not the form should be in this comparison at all. However, even with the form included, Nolan still takes this, especially when it comes to our last 2 categories, experience and stamina.
Yep, Omni-Man's been around a lot longer than Bardock, over 2,000 years, and even with Super Saiyan, Bardock's no master of the form.
And without that mastery, the form drains the user's energies at an increased rate. Which brings us to what may be Omni-Man's most surprising advantage.
Those weird smart atoms.
Saiyans like Bardock can fight for days on end, but only for so long. Bardock possesses a limited pool of ki, which only depletes faster when using super forms like the Great Ape. In contrast, Omni-Man's biology prevents him from tiring in most cases, letting him travel across whole galaxies for weeks non-stop. And his smart atoms adjust to counter whatever physical strain he's subjected to.
Bardock's crazy speed and power made him a real challenge.
But Nolan's strength, experience, and sheer endurance presented an unstoppable and unshakable.
Okay, I guess, but what about Goku? I don't know. That it's just iffy to me. But what y'all think? See y'all in the next one. I finna do a death battle right after this one, so you know. If you see me in the same clothes, don't be surprised, because I finna do one after this one. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh.